let's get into Gwyneth Paltrow because the news of this biography, when it hit my feed, I was like, this is wild. Like, I would never would have thought, she's a biography of Gwyneth because like we just were fed her all the time, right? But I am very interested to read it. Now it's out July 29th. The author is Amy Odell, who did most recently a biography of Anna Wintour. Now, my theory here is that much as Anna did with Amy, Anna refused to talk to Amy directly, but she did allow colleagues. I don't know who passes for a friend in her life. I find her probably friendless, but she gave enough people enough permission to talk to Amy that she was actually, I read half the book. I had to put it down. There was no juice in it because it was like, I got the sense that Amy was like, oh, I have access to Anna's world and I don't want to upset her. And the same could be true of Gwyneth because apparently she spoke to over 200 friends, colleagues, childhood teachers, whatever. So we're going to get into three major revelations in this People extract involving three A-listers. These are amazing. Okay, the Brad Pitt years and the breakup. There are such great details. I'm going to read from the People extract. And then, Kinsey, you give me your thoughts. During the filming of Emma, Gwyneth expressed doubts that Pitt was right for her, admitting that she had a crush on Hugh Grant. Brad and I had very different upbringings, she told an interviewer. This is so good. So when we go to restaurants and order caviar, I have to say to Brad, this is beluga and this is Osetra. And there was a famous rumor back in the 90s that Gwyneth loathed going to the Midwest to go out and eat with Brad's relatives because their idea of fine dining was Red Lobster and she couldn't hack it. Now, after Emma came out, Gwyneth went over to her makeup artist, Kevin Aquan, the late, great Kevin Aquan. She went over to his house or place and cried about Pitt multiple times. Pitt wanted to be with her, but seemed to feel threatened by her success and all the attention she received. Aquan's advice to Gwyneth was frank, quote, "You really need to end this." Now, we have seen Brad Pitt's good guy image take quite a beating, no pun intended, post Angie. What do you make of this, Kinsey?
I mean, I believe the Red Lobster story, hands down. She sounded so snotty, but you know what? Part of her appeal to me is that she's unapologetically snotty. Like that she's unapologetically she lives in a world that I cannot relate to, and I'm fascinated by it. Something about it is appealing to me, but it makes me laugh that it would be Brad Pitt was just so jealous. Hot ass Brad Pitt was so jealous of her appeal. I don't know. I don't know if I buy that. But I mean that you're right. This is my favorite part so far. So I can't wait to see what else you pulled.
Well, listen, we'll say this about Brad. Once a woman becomes actually his actual girlfriend, they all wind up weighing 90 pounds. Just going to say it. Okay. So, okay. A-lister number 2, Ben Affleck. She moved on from Brad to Ben. And this was right after he was off the Oscar win for Good Will Hunting. And he was like one of the hottest guys in Hollywood in multiple ways. Now, per the People extract, Affleck, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Affleck was struggling with alcoholism and a gambling habit around the time he met Gwyneth, who was attracted to his intellect. I get it. The guy seems really smart, like a really original mind. Just listen to his Armageddon commentary on the DVD. Now, her friends had reservations about Affleck because he didn't always reciprocate her affection. He at times seemed more interested in playing video games with the guys at his house than being with Gwyneth. Kinsey, what do you make of this?
I honestly am going to have to listen to the commentary from Armageddon because the second you said you thought he was smart, all I could see was his, like, seared in my mind was the back tattoo. Nothing about Ben Affleck's back tattoo says I've ever opened a book in my life. I trust your judgment. I'm going to listen to this DVD commentary. I'm going to have to buy it on eBay. But you have convinced me that Ben Affleck knows the alphabet and can count to 21 without being naked.
Well, listen, there's all kinds of different intelligence, you know? There's emotional intelligence. An emotionally intelligent, like, person who doesn't have self-destructive tendencies would never have gotten that back tattoo, which must have taken like 18 sessions. But he is a reader, and you don't have to buy the DVD. Don't do that. Just go on YouTube and just like type in like Ben Affleck Armageddon commentary. It's like maybe 3 minutes. It's amazing. It's hilarious. Okay. The final A-lister. This is amazing stuff. There are people who aren't even born when this happened, which is wild to me. The Madonna years, the BFF, Gwyneth Madonna rolling around, you know, with their trainer, and they're shopping, and they're in London, and they're, you know, and she's got Chris Martin, and Madonna's got Guy Ritchie. So they both have like British husbands, you know, whatever. So they were really tight. And then suddenly there was a falling out, and they never said what it was. There were rumors that perhaps Gwyneth had gotten too close to Guy Ritchie. But when Madonna and Guy Ritchie, their divorce broke, there were paparazzi photos in New York in the city of Gwyneth rushing over to Madonna to hold her hand through that. Now, according to this extract, their relationship reached a breaking point when Madonna showed up to an island where Gwyneth and Chris were vacationing. Madonna seemed to know that Gwyneth would be there, which Gwyneth seemed to find strange. A friend remembered. Again, these are all from, it's Gwyneth's people and their POV. So this would be around 2008 or 2009. Madonna, continuing on, then insisted Gwyneth and Martin join her for a big group dinner at a long table, where Madonna went off on her daughter, Lourdes. Gwyneth and Martin were disgusted by the behavior. I cannot be around this woman anymore, Martin told Gwyneth. Chris Martin, who at a Coldplay show just apparently outed a couple having an affair, and the fallout is happening as we speak. Anyway, Chris Martin said of Madonna, "She is awful." Gwyneth agreed and cut her dead. Kinsey, your thoughts?
My thoughts are, based on watching Gwyneth raise her teenagers, she's got isn't that her name? Isn't Apple kind of a snotty little girl? Wasn't she ugly at the debutante ball? Maybe Gwyneth should have been a little bit of a hard ass like Madonna. Maybe she could have learned a few things, because it's my understanding that her daughter's not very nice.
That is an excellent take. It never would have occurred to me. You're right. There is a very, very, very stubborn rumor about Apple that is it's a rough one. So yeah, she was caught being Apple, a bit of a mean girl at that debutante ball. So, you know, I think you might be right.